Welcome to Rob Talks. Today we're exploring all three of the Mayan calendars for August 14th, 2026, and I'll end with a daily affirmation. The Mayan calendars reflect that today marks a dramatic shift in the energy, allowing for a powerful awakening to begin, activating life force, transformation, and spiritual power. Now let's look at the meaning of each calendar. First up is the long count calendar. The date is 13 Baktun, 0 Cotton, 13 Tun, 11 Weenal, and the 18 Kin. The long count carries the energy of a transition point. One stage has completed, but the journey continues. This is an opportunity to take the wisdom gained from the previous cycle and use it as the foundation for what comes next. The 18 Kin is about continued development, preparation, and movement towards a completion. You're being asked to begin something that reflects your growth, and take one meaningful step towards your next goal. Also pay attention to intuitive guidance and release habits that keep you stuck. Now let's look at today's Tzolk'in calendar. Today we're beginning a new 13-day Tzolk'in cycle, which I will translate in another video, which I will put a link in the description box below. The Tzolk'in date is now 1 Chikchan. Chikchan is represented by the Serpent. It represents the powerful life force moving through creation. It's associated with vitality, instinct, transformation, passion, healing, and spiritual awakening. The number 1 represents beginnings, unity, intention, and the planting of a new energetic seed. The Serpent teaches us about renewal. It sheds its old skin and continues forward. This makes Chikchan a powerful symbol for personal transformation. You may find yourself recognizing that an old version of you no longer fits the person you are becoming. That realization can be uncomfortable, but it can also be liberating. Together, 1 Chikchan says to awaken, trust your instincts, and begin moving forward. You're being asked to start something meaningful and listen to your instincts. Also to spend time connecting with your body and breath, and don't allow the past to dictate your future. Now let's explore the Haab calendar. We are now in the Haab month of Muwan. For more information about this month, there is a link in the description box below. Today's Haab date is 13 Muwan. Muwan is represented by the owl, rain, and fire. It carries themes of transformation, spiritual awareness, and protection. Day 13 represents continued movement through the Muwan cycle. The number 13 carries a strong sense of completion and spiritual development, but that does not mean the Haab month itself is ending. Instead, today's energy can symbolize reaching a deeper level of understanding within an ongoing process. Muwan's owl encourages you to see what may be hidden. Its rain symbolizes cleansing, and its fire represents transformation. Together, these energies ask you to look honestly at what is changing within you. You're being asked to observe what is changing naturally and to listen carefully to your intuition. Also allow old emotional patterns to clear, and don't rush a transformation that is still unfolding. Now let's look at what the collective message is from all three calendars. Here's the meaning of each calendar summed up. The long count is about transition and continued evolution. The Tzolk'in is about awakening, life force, instinct, and transformation. The Haab calendar is about wisdom, cleansing, spiritual awareness, and continued transformation. A new Tzolk'in cycle has begun, but the transformational process represented by Muwan is still continuing. You don't have to rush toward the destination. Allow yourself to grow through the process. Collectively, 1 Chikchan represents a renewed surge of life force. Sometimes transformation begins quietly. Before others see this change, we may experience it internally through new thoughts, new desires, new awareness, and new perspectives. Muwan reminds us to look beneath appearances. The message here is that an awakening begins when we become willing to recognize what is changing within us. If this message has found you today, pay attention to what suddenly feels different. Maybe an old dream is returning. Maybe you're seeing a situation from a completely different perspective. Maybe you're discovering that you no longer want what you once thought you wanted. Don't dismiss these changes. They may be signs that your inner life is moving into a new phase. You don't need to have the entire path figured out. You only need to take the next step. Remember, your awakening begins with awareness. Here's an affirmation reflecting today's calendars, but please first remember to give us a thumbs up and to subscribe to help us grow. Thank you. Here's the affirmation. I awaken to the life force within me, trust my deepest instincts, embrace transformation, and confidently begin the next chapter of my journey. Thank you all for your support.